Hi, I'm Dwayne from Travel by the Book TV. In a recent episode, we followed Nora Ephron's advice and visited Langer's Delicatessen in Los Angeles to try the greatest pastrami sandwich in the world. We had such fun with the owner, Norm Langer, and he was so interesting that we thought we'd share this additional episode where Norm answers the age-old question, what's the difference between corned beef and pastrami? Be sure to watch the full episode that's called Nora Ephron's Favorite Sandwich? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so here's a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between corned beef and pastrami?
That's like saying, what is the difference between a Ford and a Chevy? They're both automobiles. The pastrami and corned beef come from two different places on a steer.
Okay.
Now, number one, the first thing you have to remember is corned beef and pastrami does not come from a cow. Corned beef comes from the back of the plate. Steer has two breastbones. Behind the breastbone is the plate. That's where your brisket comes from.
Okay.
Brisket, when if you put it in the oven and roast it like your grandmother did it, is a soft, tender brisket. It's not a stew meat, but it's more of a bland product that's enhanced by what kind of gravies or what kind of sauce you put on it. When it's turned into corned beef, the brisket is brined. It is cured, depending on whether they fast cure it or they do it slowly on a 7-day slow cure. It's cured and then it's boiled. That is how corned beef is presented.
Okay.
It is in your boiling, you'll have a little bit of spices in it and things to enhance it depending on your recipe and what you want to do with it.
Right.
Pastrami, on the other hand, is a completely different product. Pastrami comes from the navel. That's what we use here on the West Coast. On a 2,000-pound steer, you've got approximately 6 to 8 pounds of meat, of navel meat. The navel is then taken and brined, the same as corned beef.
Okay.
And there's several ways to brine it. If we go back to the old school, way back when, you would dry cure it. Dry curing means you put it in a barrel, you put seasoning, spices in it, you put a weight on top so it doesn't float. If you dry cure it, you leave it in there for approximately 7 days. Then as society went on and things changed and we looked for more rapid ways of doing things and storage was much more expensive, you started injecting your meats. You could do it with corned beef, you can do it with pastrami. When you boil it, everything you put into there boils out. So you started with 6 pounds, you shot it up to 8 pounds, you boiled it, it went back to 6 pounds. In pastrami, you're doing the same thing. You're brining it. Mm-hmm. You can either put it in a barrel for 7 days and brine it. You can take and spray pump it. After you've pumped it, you then take it and rub it with spices, and you put it in a smokehouse.
So corned beef is not smoked, pastrami is smoked.
That is correct. Corned beef is boiled, pastrami is smoked and then steamed.
Okay.
When your pastrami comes out of the smokehouse, it by law is legally edible. You can't chew it. It's rubber.
Okay.
The problem is you have to break down the tissues. Mm-hmm. When I receive it here, it's out of the smokehouse, it's refrigerated, it's cold, it's legally edible. If I wanted to serve it, I could warm it. I could put it on a slicing machine and cut it paper thin so you can chew it, but you're eating rubber. You have to break the tissues down.
Okay.
The majority of restaurants that serve it will serve it after putting it in a warmer for 30 to 45 minutes and cutting it paper thin so you can chew it. That's what the average deli or restaurant will put out. I don't serve that. I will put it in live steam anywhere from 2.5 to 4.5 hours.
Wow.
It breaks down all of the tissues. That way it becomes soft and tender. You then take and trim all the fat off of it, and trim it down, and we hand slice it. You hand slice for several reasons. Number one, because if you try to cut it thin on a machine, it's going to fall apart. By hand slicing it, you have created several different things to benefit you. Cut any type of meat, you cut it against the grain. If you cut it with the grain, it's tough and it's chewy.
Right.
So by cutting it against the grain, pastrami might have 3 or 4 or 5 different variations of grain in it. So cutting it by hand, you're continually turning it to cut against the grain.
Okay.
When they cut it on the machine, they're not. They throw it on the machine and they cut it, and here it is. Thank you very much. So in hand cutting it, you have a completely different product. And all the pastrami here is hand cut.